Hey, I'm here again. Had another request to make a tutorial on how to form um, the Grand Hetmanate, the secret government out of Lithuania, quickly and big, without releasing Zaporozhye. I think I said that right. Um, yeah, so it's 9 years or less to get this set up. You have basically you can finish missions to get claims on all of your borders pretty easily, and then also set it up with a bit of a meme to release yourself while at war, that you don't have to fight, so you can just set up other nations to fight wars, which is quite advantageous in single player and quite funny in multiplayer, if that's allowed, of course. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so we are going to start as Lithuania. Okay, so to do this, the only thing we really have to manage is the Cossack estates. To get them in power, we need 100 influence, and they need to not like us. So that means they have to control a lot of land. The more land they control, the bigger the nation is that you'll spawn out at the end. So we're going to establish the Cossack regiments first. Close that, and then we're going to expand the Cossack regiments. That gets them up to 30%. And then, before we do anything else, we're going to establish the Cossack regiments. And while we're here, we'll do some advisors. Doesn't really matter which ones we do. We're going to balance out the mana so that we get everything at the same speed. And we're going to pick some rivals and then pick some people to ally. So let's see here. Who is big that we can ally? Let's see, probably Poland is one. And let's see, we'll do Poland and Brandenburg. And we'll unpause. Now, because we removed that first estate, the other Cossack estate got removed, so we're just going to go ahead and establish the Cossack regiments again. Expand the Cossack regiments again. Because we established the Cossack regiments, it auto-removed expand the Cossack regiments, so we're able to do it again and just give even more crown land to the Cossacks. And then we're going to, let's see what else gives them land. We'll expand the exploration expeditions, and we will do Cossack land rights. And that is basically everything. Now, because we have this, we can seize and it won't take any land away from the Cossacks. Yeah, and so they're at 30% loyalty, 80% influence, and we need to get that influence up to 100%. So we will just do self-governance and it's another good one. Cossack leaders, sure. Okay, so now they're firmly at 100%. We'll just unpause. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We will marry Poland. And we're going to start currying favors on both Poland and Brandenburg. And so yeah, there's the disaster, and this will fire on July of 1450. And looking at when we get the tech, it'll be February 1451. So yeah, just a little bit after. This is fine because the speed of the disaster will slow down once the loyalty gets to 40%. And yeah, we do not want to ally or to be a PO under Poland, just because we don't want to draw them into any wars. If we're at war, then the progress halts, essentially. So we want to stay not at war. Yeah, while we're doing this, we can reduce autonomy. Sure. Yeah. Get some money. And yeah, like it doesn't matter if we're losing money because we're not going to be this country. And we've become a great power. How about that? So yeah, basically now we just wait and we keep an eye on this date. So July 1450, there's a few decisions we might be able to take later if the loyalty gets to 50. We want that military power. You could assign privileges here to get more, to reduce advisor cost, but really you want to keep their influence as low as possible. So eventually we'll probably get an event that improves our crown land, and then we'll be able to sell titles. What else? So when the Cossacks rebel, there's a few things that determine what provinces they get. One of them is that the province doesn't have 10 development. It needs to be 9 development or less to get it to be preferred. So we're just going to exploit development in those two provinces so that there's a better chance of good borders. And we could take burger loans, but yeah, we can also just take debt. Yeah, the Diplo power is probably it doesn't really matter because we're gonna get, let's see, 1451. So the military power is really the one that we need to get a bit earlier, if at all possible. So yeah, now that the influence is above 40%, we might as well do this. If we get it to 50, then we can take some of these decisions. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do any of those. so we're getting close to a year out. That's August 1450, and what happens in March of 1454 now, so it's 50%. I'm actually going to wait to fire one of these decisions to kill the loyalty. I'm going to wait until we get this admin tech here. Okay, so now we have that. We're just going to take a few loans. We're going to seize land and sell titles. Hey, the Renaissance spawned, and we're going to build a few centers of trade wherever it makes sense to. Where are these provinces? So there's one. We're going to end up getting the southeast of the country. Estate statutory rights, so this is going to, better late than never, it's going to give us a bunch more crownland. Vilnius, we won't get that, but we'll conquer it later. So, yeah, let's just do that. Then taxation. Do that. Now that we are close to building the buildings, let's look at the estate loyalty. So 61%. So we can click. We'll click this one to reduce it to 50, and then we'll click this one to reduce it to 15, and now we have the rebellion that's going to happen in just over a year, which is perfect. So we're just going to take all the loans. We're going to build all of the buildings. So our income's negative 20, so we need to save about 400 ducats just to get us to the time the disaster fires. Yeah, that should be fine. And yeah, we'll can even mothball the forts just to yeah, we'll delete the delete some of the cavalry just to get our costs down. And yeah, we want this to be Tech 4, which will be January. And we just wait for it. You see our Cossacks have nearly 60% of the land. Yeah, we do that. Should fine. Up floor. Yeah, we're attacking. I'll fire advisors. Do everyone. And yeah, let's pause it. Pause it, let's just keep going. We're gonna do it. Yeah, I'm pulling in. So yeah, here's the event. The steps are calling me. Before that happens, why does Poland not want to join any wars? Oh, they're fighting in another war. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so we're gonna click that button, but before we do, we can just send Brandenburg off into a funny war with Lithuania. and you can do this with any nations you ally to. Ideally, they're not in a war when this happens. We're just going to do that, no CB them, and then click the steps are calling me, and yeah, I'll just keep that later. And we formed Brest, so every province has a temple or a trade center. We can set up rivals with whoever we want. Lithuania is fighting in a war. You could actually have unallied after you declared that war. You could have unallied Poland and Brandenburg, so you can just immediately deck on them. But yeah, there you have it. You have a brand new nation, the Grand Hetmanate, so that lets you have these modifiers. You're, of course, Orthodox, so you can set the Patriarch authority. You don't have you have the Cossacks instead of the military advisor, so you have to set up all the estates again. But yeah, that is it. You are now a fully released nation. Just have to recruit some troops. You have these great missions that give claims on every neighboring province. If you reach your force limit, and then this next one, if you've grown your development by 50, you get another claim on every neighboring province. And then a third one, if you've grown by 5 states. So some great missions. Ultimately, what you can do with this, though, is you can form Russia, because our primary culture is Ryazanian, but you can also dev a few times and just easily convert to Ruthenian and form Ruthenia, which is probably the better thing to do. So yeah, why is this a good government form, Grand Hetmanate? Well, it is so it has the ability to raise provinces. It's a republic, so you can get very good 666 leaders once you pass enough reforms to cycle them quickly and get your republican tradition to stay high. You can do the horde idea group, which is quite strong. You can also do plutocratic. It's unusual that you get to do both of these, but essentially this lets you stack all the cavalry modifiers in addition to what is it? Yeah, in addition to stacking cavalry modifiers, you get Cossack force limit. You have special unique troops. So these are the Cossacks, 15% shock damage. What else? Yeah, there's lots of great things in here that reduce your dev cost, improve your manpower, and all the steppe provinces. You have these unique government items here. So this one, essentially, you gain progress on this fairly quickly. It's what you gain 4 per month, and you need 100 to click the decision. So that's clicking the decision once every 2 years, and this gives you for free 4,000 manpower in the form of troops that just are created out of thin air, basically. You get to click that once every 2 years. This one, same basic idea, but this improves your movement speed and manpower. And this button basically steals development from neighboring countries, or it hurts their tax modifier and gives you free development. You actually get to pick which country you neighbor to give that debuff to, which is quite fun. Yeah. I'll leave it there.